Hi, everyone. Happy Monday. Hi. Welcome to VCTV, the Venture Capital TV, and from LATOKEN, obviously. And I'm the host, Sunny Mohanty. I'm the Regional Director of LATOKEN based here in Singapore. As we all know, I host the shows Monday to Friday, every day, 8 p.m. Singapore time. So, yes. So, we are back this week, Monday, with a new topic, new set of speakers, and it's going to be very exciting. So VCTV has grown since we launched in February 2020 this year, obviously this year. And since then, we've got our community of investors, speakers, founders. I mean, obviously has gone, the numbers have grown since then. And that sort of explains the sheer sort of interest and love for VCTV that you bring in to us as well. So yeah, so that's about VCTV. The journey you've just spent with us, spent with me, my colleagues. It's amazing. It's end of the year, nearly end of the year 2020. Who knows what's going to happen next year? But we hope to stay connected through VCTV and exchange ideas and share insights and stay connected. That's the whole point. Today I'm going to start my week. Oh, Gary's here. Today I'm going to start my week to discuss about the trends, investments in gaming and entertainment. Hi all, hello. So I see a hi. So hi. So yeah, happy Monday, Gary. Welcome to VCTV. Hi, Jose. Welcome back. Hi, Anuj, and hi, John. Welcome back. So yes. So I'd like you to start with your introduction so that our viewers and audience know who you are, just in case they haven't seen the past episodes of VCTV. I see Jose right in front of me on the left. So I'd like to start with you, Jose. Please, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sonny, for having me once more on your show. It's a real pleasure always to be on your shows. So my name is Jose Graca. I'm the man with different hats. That's what I always say. So I've been a serial entrepreneur for a long time, a business angel, and also a VC. I like to be much more to be an entrepreneur because I like to build things. That's the main reason. Today, what drives me is a very important topic, which is business inclusion. And we are investing heavily into that area. And we're also on the lookout for talent. And very happy to be here. And I see we have a fantastic panel today with John, Gary, Anuj. So will be a lot of fun today.
Yeah, and yes, hats, that's the thing. That sets you apart from others. Yeah, thank you so much, Jose, for the introduction. Next, I have Anuj. Hi, Anuj, welcome back. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. So, good to be back. Introducing myself, I'm an entrepreneur. Have started 3 startups in the last 10 years. Along with it, worked with some big financial corporations like Fidelity and American Express. Presently working as the founder for Yellow Sapphire Technologies and Atotum. So I have my expertise in fintech, medtech, gaming, and e-commerce products. Uh, I'm also an international partner at World Business Angel Forum, so working towards promoting global financial inclusivity as part of G20 initiative. Along with it, working towards promoting entrepreneurship across the world. I'm also working with iAngels in Israel for angel investments, along with a family fund based out of Buffalo, New York. So good to be here.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you, Anuj, and welcome back. John, welcome back. And yes, I know it's 7 a.m. It's too early for you. I really appreciate your time and commitment. Welcome back to VCT.
It's all good. Gary's up with me too, so we're fine. John Bellamini, and I have 30 years experience in finance, technology, and social justice. And what that means is I've had the privilege of working for Oracle, KPMG, Merrill Lynch, really big firms, but I'm most excited about a few of the other things. I've also launched a company that we took it public in '99. It was great. And had to buy out another company we bought out after that. And then what I'm most proud of is I launched a company called Center for the Greater Good. And we raised and deployed about $500 million to help house 20,000 low-income families. I launched a nonprofit that serves 65,000 people a day. And I'm now on my third startup, which is a bank that focuses on doing good for people. And I'm on the gaming panel today because my passion is anti-trafficking, and I've been working on building a massive online game which hunts traffickers and finds the missing. And that's why I'm on this panel. I'm also a part of a group called gamesforgood.org, and it's a collection of executives that have come together to build games with some of the major corporations across the U.S. and fighting things like trafficking and other educational purposes. But we're really excited to be here today.
Yeah, John, thank you so much. And I remember that very clearly in the first session you had mentioned about it. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Last but not least, Gary, welcome back. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I am very good. And you can see Winnie is back. And
Yeah,
how was the weekend?
It's good. I actually, behind me, you can't see it on the screen, but I actually have one of Steve Jobs' shirts that I have hung that I bought in Menlo Park. It was at a club out there, and I actually hung it yesterday up here. So I got Tesla on one side of me, one of his letters, and I have some inspiration today. I'm in my man cave here right now because we're doing some construction. Anyhow, my name's Gary Fowler. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've done 16 companies and wide variety of companies, everything from AI and advanced security to AI and health tech, Zemply, AI and HR tech, Evo, which is close to $1 billion company that I started 4 years ago. I was on the original management team at Click Software, which was sold for $1.35 billion to Salesforce. I invest. I'm a country boy from Pennsylvania, so all these guys with these high educations here. I'm just a country boy, so trying to make a living. I'm in Silicon Valley normally. Right now, I'm in Palm Beach in Florida at our place here because it's a nice place to ride out COVID. And I'm excited to be here, Sonny, and to see all our friends and news. I feel like we got a family here. It's amazing.
Good to see you, Gary.
I see these guys all. Yeah, it's amazing actually. Talk and see them. It makes my day. I got to tell you, and a great start to the week seeing you, Sonny. You're like sunshine. It's amazing.
Thank you so much, Gary, for those compliments. They're lovely to see you all again on my panels, and it makes my day as well. Thank you so much for that in introductions. So great. So we all set with introductions. The topic is about investments in gaming and entertainment. I'm going to split it into two parts. Let's talk about trends this year. We're almost end of the year now. And we'll talk about investments, recent investments made by you in the space as well. And successful pivots, if you can share, emerging products, what has surprised us in a good way this year in the space, and we go for the closing remarks after that. So I'd like to start with Jose first. Jose, let's start with the opening remarks that you can share about the topic today.
So I've told this on previous shows. I've been in the entertainment industry quite a long time, essentially when I was a younger person. So it's an area that I know very well. I think there is a big shift in the entertainment for the younger generations today, essentially into the more gaming world. So there's a lot of changes in there. What touches myself is that we are building this training program, and that's why I come in with the gaming for business inclusion. And in that training program, we have a game. Okay, and that game that basically puts you on the tests, right? How you're going to set up that company and why, and etc. And why are the decisions? So the game, what it does, it helps you making some mistakes, and at the same time, it helps you also giving you some hints afterwards. You could go into a different direction, and that's the reason why I'm here on this topic today, is because gaming could also be educational. Okay.
Very much.
The entertainment, I think today, we have a lot of entertainment, but essentially entertainment today is social media. That's what entertains everybody, more or less. We can discuss that, everybody's still stuck on the TV. But if you look at the numbers and the hours that everybody spends on the smartphone, right? It's huge, the amount of hours that they spend on social media, on all these types of social media, and it will get more. So that's what I think about the topic. So I'm on the lookout for some very nice talent,
Right.
especially in the gaming development industry.
Okay.
We don't have in-house talent to develop that gaming, so we are looking on the outlook right now. That could also be a company which is has that knowledge and is in the pre-seed or seed stage.
Oh, that's good to know. That's good to know. Thank you for bringing that up, Joseph. Thank you for that opening remarks. Next, I'd like to go for Anuj. Hi, Anuj. Your opening remarks for the topic today.
How are you? So, opening remarks. I mean, the topic for today is about gaming and entertainment. And uh, if I was to ask anyone, what's the one industry where they hear the news that just one product made probably 100 million, 500 million, or probably even a billion, what would that be? And I'm fairly certain the answer to that would more or less always be movies. That's entertainment. Uh, it's the one industry where there's always been big money, uh, but one industry which is now catching up to it, which people my age or younger to me would always refer to, is gaming. Launch of a new PlayStation is always a huge event. It has its own aura, it has its own hype that surrounds it, and that's what makes this industry special. It's something which is now rising to the fame in the modern era. It is something which is now people realizing can be the next big thing. Gone are the days when people would say, "Oh no, just going out and then playing in the field is actual sport." Esports are actually getting the validation that they long deserve now. And with technology catching up, it's only a matter of time before esports would enter mainstream. We've already seen that there are now multiple esports gaming convention with huge prizes. PUBG World Championship, everyone knows about it. That a 16-year-old boy can win millions of dollars just from playing that. There are multiple content creators that are working off of just gaming platforms that are streaming their gameplays on Twitch that are making a living out of this. And that's uh, those guys. They have a steady stream of members that want to see them play. They have a steady stream of users that want to watch such content. It's because that is good content. Uh, in a stressful time, it's always good to go out and have a good gameplay, or at least watch a good gameplay. In the end, having a good time is having a laugh with friends, and if you can do that over a game, uh, that's the best thing there can be. Uh, there are some good trends that are coming up in the industry as well. Uh, we are seeing a new rise in mobile gaming. A great example that I personally love is Call of Duty Mobile. Uh, I used to be a gamer in my high school days. I haven't had a chance to follow up on that much after that. But yeah, Call of Duty has been calling me back. It's bringing back onto that gaming circuit. So a rise that I am seeing in this year, especially in the post lockdown phase, has been in the rise in the mobile gaming industry, where more and more people are jumping on the bandwagon. The notion that mobile gamers are not real gamers, it's sort of disappearing. So there's that validation that's coming up. PC level, console level games are now coming up on mobile. So it's a great sign for the industry overall. It only means that the industry is going to grow in the future. It only means that uh, the only way to go in the future is up, and that's it.
Very nice explained, both Joe and Anuj so far. Like, gaming, entertainment, education, all coming together. Very good times. Thank you, Anuj. Next, I have John. Hi, John. Would like to hear your insights as well.
So I might be a little bit different than everybody else on this panel, but I believe that the future of gaming is less about interacting with each other and about actually creating things in the real world. So instead of just manifesting tokens and prizes and cash and viewers, it's really about what can we actually change in the physical world. And this isn't about necessarily doing good. It's about how do you co-create in this space and how does that actually manifest itself in the physical world. So it's going from the physical world to the virtual world back out to the physical world. And I think that's the real future of these gaming platforms. And gaming, I think, I'm also in the media business. I work in Hollywood, and I'm an investor in film and things of that nature. So I see the two mediums definitely merging. And so I think eventually we're going to have a new name for this whole industry, and it's going to kind of blend together. And the gamers are very important, and what they're doing now is frontier work. And I believe, again, the future is how do you, like, for example, in trafficking, instead of just educating people about the evils of trafficking, which is awesome, how do we actually enable people to hunt these people and actually get them and actually find the missing and actually do something positive? Or it could be in construction, you could crowdsource. How do you build a bridge, right? There's all these things you can do out there. And I think that's where I'm focusing my capital and dollars, is trying to find companies to do that. We have a gaming studio and we're going to get it done. That's it.
Right. Fantastic, John. Thank you for sharing those insights. Gary, would like to know about your opening remarks on gaming and entertainment and trends in 2020. We are going to end this year soon. So what have you seen so far that you can share with your audience?
I mean, again, this is the KISS principle, right? To keep it simple. Yeah. So, I mean, people are locked in their houses. There's record numbers for coronavirus cases. People say, well, the pandemic's behind us. It's not behind us. It's here. The record levels today here in the US. So let's think about it. So people are home. What kind of things happen? Well, gaming sales have gone up, right? The last numbers that I've seen are up 29.4 billion, which is a 23% increase year over year. You know, mobile games on iPhones are up 44% just in Japan and 20% in the EU. So it's happening. Why? People are home. They're watching Netflix. They're watching Amazon. They're watching all kinds of sources. And the other thing is, because there's not enough content, I don't know if you're like me, Sonny, but I have signed up for more online sources than I've ever had in my life because there's not enough content. So I'm going across Hulu, YouTube. I mean, you name it, all kinds of different sources because, you know, content is king. And with the pandemic, there's been some severe challenges around that. So this is one of the greatest times. Think about, you know, live sports. I mean, people still want to have live sports. Now they're starting to broadcast them in not filled stadiums and having those types of sporting events. Streaming music is up. So literally across the board. But now here's where the opportunity is. The opportunity is to go in and have more immersive experiences. Bring that audience in. Hyper-personalize those types of experiences. So I'm encouraged by that. And of course, you know, people are bored. You know, people have a lot more time. You know, as I said, I mean, it's for me personally, I used to commute 2 hours in the morning each way to my office in Silicon Valley. And now, you know, I'm down in Palm Beach. I have a lot more time. Actually, I'm working till, you know, 5:30. I guess we were on the first panel this morning till 11 o'clock at night every day, pretty much. So we're working a lot more efficiently. This is an amazing time. So gaming is going to change, but we've got to figure out how to make content. I've just seen some things recently where content is starting to be created with AI. I just saw a song in the style of Frank Sinatra that was AI generated for Christmas that sounded like Frank Sinatra, but the AI created the song.
Wow.
Created the song, you know? So not in the style of Frank Sinatra singing White Christmas, a new song by Frank Sinatra, right, about Christmas. So these are the kind of interesting technologies where unsupervised AI and semi-supervised AI are going to dramatically shift our lives. Imagine whole movies being created based on certain themes, created entirely on artificial intelligence that around a certain topic, original content. those days are not far ahead of us, right? It's already started to happen. So I'm encouraged. I mean, advertising being to take products and insert them into an already existing video. So you've got a product inside of the video, so you can start to subliminally sell things. So it's incredible times, and the companies that are out there, the startups, focus on, look at these opportunities, look at this market. This is I hope once in a lifetime occurrence, this pandemic, although it could have been a lot worse than it is. So use your time wisely. And no, it's a great time for gaming developers. It's this is like hitting a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Yeah, absolutely. Jose also looking for developers as well. Thank you, Gary, for sharing those insights and trends. Fantastic. We've just done with the first round. Jose, I'd like to come back to you now. I can hear myself talking. All right. Please share some insights about any recent investments that you personally would have made or seen that you would like to share with us, because the startups that we have are looking to raise funds, and we have startups in gaming entertainment space as well with us. So over to you.
So 1 week ago, I looked at something which was really amazing. So today, the technology already exists that you can have a human, really realistic human voice and human visual on digital wise. It's so perfect that you almost cannot see the difference anymore. So that technology exists already. What we are looking for is that these realistic avatars that are available, and obviously it's most of it's powered by artificial intelligence. But these avatars, they are so realistic that you could even, I would say, almost generate realistic movies, right? With a lot of, let's say, technical special effects behind it, etc., which is today already the case. So I was in the movie industry a long time ago. I'm not updated, with what everything is possible, but I know it has moved forward quite fast. But what I'm looking for, and that's really the way I see that it's going to lead, is that realistic avatars, okay, with realistic voices that you can make either short movies with, and that you can use either for entertainment or for social media. And I think that's where it eventually will go to. Today, video is king. Okay, it's getting in social media, and YouTube definitely is one of my favorite channels. Not only because I search a lot of topics there, because it's also faster. I don't like to read. It's something that a lot of people don't know, but reading for me goes very slow, right? And so I get bored very fast when I'm reading. The only thing I like to read is contracts. I don't know why, but I have a lot of patience to read contracts. I go to the smallest details. But besides contracts, I don't like to read in general. I prefer to see, very good detailed video with definition. And you can absorb much more data, okay, looking at a video than reading. So my focus definitely goes to technology that can be used in gaming, but also in entertainment, and that can reproduce realistic voice and realistic avatars.
Right. Thank you, Joseph, for sharing those insights. I mean, I am a visual person when it comes to content, and I would like to see more than read, like you just mentioned. But yes, thank you so much for sharing that. Anuj, I would like to ask you a question, because Hotstar India now is I think subscribe to Hotstar in Singapore as well. So I have also seen a lot of founders from India in that streaming sort of platform space, entertainment space, who have reached out to me to influence. So can you share some sort of examples of any portfolios that you recently have invested in, or you've seen being invested, and what were the factors that led to this recent investment, so that the other founders who are looking to raise funds can get some ideas from that? Thank you.
So, this is one sector which I'm always looking closely at. Like Jose said, videos are easy to consume than text. That's always been the case. The hook factor that a picture can generate, that a thumbnail can generate, is always enticing. Plus a 10-minute video on YouTube in a quick commute, it's always the best way to consume any form of content. I'm personally a reader. I mean, I have a collection of almost 7,000 books now, but yeah, even being a reader, I still like visual content. And um, I think when we talk about the content industry, a lot of times we have gotten myopic in terms of how the content can go. I'm going to share an example of one of our recent companies that I've been working with. They are trying to get into the audio sector instead of the video sector. Uh, More often than not, when we talk about entertainment, we focus solely on visual entertainment, so movies, YouTube, uh, OTT systems like Hotstar, as you mentioned, or Disney Plus. Uh, while they are behemoth and giants in their own way, there are other companies that are coming up in this sector. One good example I would share is I was having this conversation with a friend of mine who's an analyst at a VC fund. And he mentioned to me that before Facebook, no one had the habit of uploading their pictures online. We had digital cameras then, and while we were storing them on our system, we were going ahead with data transfer. We were never uploading them on the cloud. Coincidentally, unfortunately, around the time of Facebook is when iPhone came into picture, camera quality started to improve. And that's where Facebook and Instagram is where they got us hooked on to that level where they created a new influencer market in itself, that there is an industry vertical right now that's completely dependent upon these platforms. Likewise, a new arena which I see coming recently is in the audio sector. There's a huge surge in the growth for Spotify. There are a lot of content creators that are now uploading uh, their content onto these platforms. There's a huge growth in SoundCloud, which is doing great. And likewise, there are going to be more platforms that are going to be more audio focused rather than visually focused. Because while they still need a visual hook point, in the end, the rise in podcast, the rise in that interactive conversation, in that informative content that can also be consumed while driving is also going to be a key factor. So that's one of the companies that we have worked with recently. We've just launched their platform last month on the Indian market for a beta launch. I'm planning that we'll go ahead with a full launch by the end of March. So yeah, it's an exciting system, a lot of exciting stuff coming up. Disney Plus and Hotstar are, like I said, are giants that are doing great, that are primarily working on controlling that entire Southeast Asia market. But while they may be leading the charge, I'm fairly certain that there are going to be a lot of other companies that are going to be following up on this. And just to add on to it, Jose, I'm sure you like to read contracts, but one thing which I think we all love is reading that term sheet. That's the best feeling we can all have, right?
I think term sheeting.
That's definitely the case, But I think you also need to have the patience for it. And
Absolutely.
is when I'm reading, I think that's the funny part. I'm a very creative person. Okay, so what happens is that the creativity runs so fast while reading that I can just not wait until the next chapter. That's the biggest problem. So I just want to
that's the patience
skip
factor.
that whole page and go immediately to the next chapter, because I don't have the patience to read all those details. But funny enough, in contracts, you know, if you don't read the details, right, you you have a big problem. So what you do is you go to all these details.
Yeah.
I was talking to one of our partners in US, and they are into marketing, and I love this one line that they said. All of these guys are young guys, younger than me. I'm 29, and all of these guys are younger than me. So it's just surprising to work with them. And they said so these guys are focused on marketing towards Generation Z, and their founder told me that Generation Z has an attention span of, I believe, some 7 or 8 seconds. That's the time that they take to decide if they want to continue ahead with it. And he said they might have a short attention span, but that does not mean that they are not paying attention. So that's where the key factor comes in. Even the ads that you see on YouTube right now, you can skip them after 5 seconds. So you have that 5-second window. That's where the key factor or that smartness value in entertainment comes into picture. If you are doing something in that sector, you have a very short attention. You have a very short window to capture that user. Otherwise, they're gone.
Yeah, that's a very important one. And you know, there is no better industry than the movie industry to be able to tell stories and keep you on the edge of the chair. They really do a fabulous job. You know, even whatever you have today in all the let's say the offers that you have, there is no better industry that is able to keep you on that chair for almost like 2 hours in general, right? And keep you excited the whole time, you know. And they really are very expert in that.
Yeah.
Storytelling is still an art, mate. Storytelling is indeed an art.
Yeah, I really like what Jose and Anuj are saying, because I am also very much YouTube, like I watch YouTube all the time. I've got it open all the time. And the ads, as you rightly said, Anuj, it keeps on coming, you know. Sometimes I skip, sometimes I watch. Again, it's about the attention span as well. And that's a very good market for any startup who is planning to, you know, sort of get into that space. Thank you for sharing that. Even, again, storytelling, Netflix, streaming videos, and something that, you know, we all are watching right now, and something that we are looking to invest as well as investors like yourself. So great points. We are like half an hour into the session. I'd like to ask John about his recent investments that you personally are looking or have made this year, or the you know, any investments that you've seen have been made in particular gaming or entertainment that you'd like to share with our audience and our founders who are watching us today.
Sure. I want to focus on 2 categories. Under Gary's principle of keeping it simple, I like the Levi Strauss story. Levi Strauss started his company by selling ticks and axes to the miners. He was not the miner, and he made all of his money there. He sold Levi's to the miners, and that enabled them to do their work. That's a really great business model we should think about here. And where one of my board members has made a recent investment. She was the CMO of Walmart, Barnes and Nobles, and Prudential. And she came up with the idea of making a payment system for Twitch. So she basically created PayPal for Twitch. Before she even launched the company, she had a buyout in her hand. So she basically made her investment and tripled her money, and, you know, was bought out within 7 months. And it was a great investment for her. I encourage us to think about, what are these supporting, just like in Hollywood, what are all the supporting businesses that require capital investment to scale this business beyond what it already is. That's one area I think is going to be an important one, and often an overlooked one, and undervalued one. Secondly, I personally am looking to invest in organizations that are not just extracting value from the user, but that are actually adding value beyond entertainment. I hate to keep driving on this theme, but this industry could suffer the same problems Hollywood does. Like, I view game creators oftentimes as actors, right? Content creators are actors, and we know how much actors make in today's Hollywood. Right, the beginning days of Hollywood, they made a lot of money sometimes, but we got to be careful about just getting caught up in content creation, because, as Gary's pointed out and others on this panel, AI is going to be able to make that. So it's a race to the bottom as far as, you know, the money you can make from this as an investment. And as soon as everybody has AI, then great. What's the next level? I think it's about adding value to people's lives in ways we haven't even thought about yet, instead of extracting value by selling them as an advertisement to a consumer. And then the third bucket is, and on the consumer part is we're working with a lot of CMOs from major companies around the world. They've tried to get in the game business. Often these games suck. They don't really do well, and they're small little branding tricks. We're actually trying to get them into how do they activate their crowd again, their audience and their followers to manifest something positive in the world while also gaming, while also branding. So I think it's that intersection of value creation, value addition, and non-extraction that's going to be the future of this platform, I hope.
Okay, so great points, John. I just want to ask you one question. You mentioned, like Gary also mentioned, AI-based content creation. Do you think AI is going to replace the TikToks where you have human beings, creating content?
I view it as since we're creating it, I think it's an extension of humanity, right? And this is the perfect machine. If you think about this machine that we have here, our human body, it is absolutely brilliant. And so this technology is, it's very rudimentary. And AI, yes, it will be an augmentation of us, but I see it as an augmentation. I don't see it as a replacement.
Augmentation. Okay.
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you, John, for that.
Sure.
Gary, I'd like to know from you any recent investments that you've made or planning to make or seen that you'd like to share, because we have founders who are looking to raise funds in this space.
I mean, the thing is, so in terms of these avatars, this Maya, which is one of our companies in our global accelerator, actually has created a social media influencer, and it is the representative for today Puma. So she's not real. She's a composite of faces from Asia and body types, right? And so she's not real, but she's one of the top influencers now. She's called Maya. I actually just wrote an article in Medium, I think, about it. It's getting a lot of attention, but it's incredible. It's going to happen more and more and more. I mean, we're going to have virtual. I mean, think about it. You're going to have people that don't die, right? They're going to come back, and it's already. I mean, in Star Wars, they have figures that are in Star Wars that have been in previous Star Wars, people that have died, physically died, and now are still in Star Wars. So these kind of things are going to happen. It's happening now. It's just rudimentary. It's not at the right level, but it will be another couple of years, and you'll start seeing movies like Avatar that are generated on the fly. I mean, people get, pretty soon you'll be able to pick out what kind of movie you want. I want one with a really happy ending that has Minnie Mouse. Can you make it with Pluto and Goofy? Can you imagine? So you're a kid, you say, I want to create a movie and I only have 20 minutes. Can you please create it? And the AI comes back and creates a customized, highly personal movie with the kind of, it extracts information from all over the internet. It understands what kind of things you like, has advertisements in there, super targeted just for you. And the movie that you choose, you make. Those are the kind of things that are going to be the future. I mean, we're on the cusp of it today, not far off. So anyhow, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about any kind of applications of artificial intelligence into content. I'm interested in artificial intelligence in terms of ad tech also. So being able to take objects and like Maya, avatars, and put them inside of videos, existing videos, that kind of stuff has already started to happen. So it's a great time, actually.
Yeah, thank you, Gary, for sharing that. Also, startups, you've just got some ideas from Gary over there. I mean, even though it's like, futuristic, but still, I think this is the right time to start working on it, right? The avatars and the AI-based movie making, that sounds so fascinating already to me. Thank you so much for sharing those insights. Jose, just in the interest of time, I would like to ask you any successful pivots or examples of any startup or founder that you would like to share and how they pivoted during this time of pandemic, because just set and give an example to our founders who are looking to probably be a little unique in the space, because the space is crowded, as we know, because I see a lot of requests from people in this industry, especially gaming in Asia is very crowded when it comes to service providers of the platform. So what advice do you have to be unique, giving an example from your experience?
Well, the issue is like this. Whatever you do today, if it's gaming or entertainment or anything else, the generation that is going to take over now in the next 5 years, and they already account for 70% of consumed today, is the millennial generation. And this generation Z that is coming up, in 5 years, they will be starting to get into the ecosystem. Okay, they already are there, but what I mean is that they get into the as a workforce, etc. So if I would do anything in my life today, although I'm a Generation X, right, I would just focus on the millennial and the Generation Z, because they are the future, and they are the let's say the public that is available, the masses, right? So the baby boomers, it's over more or less, another 10 years, and it's basically almost done. And the Generation Z, the Generation X, is going to take that place over slowly. So definitely, my focus is on that generation, even if it's gaming or anything else. What I can tell you is like this: it's the generation, right, by election, that is the gaming generation. The millennials are the first real gaming generation, right? And the next generation is even much more. My kid is, Generation Z, and I can't even remember playing so much in games like he does. Although I had a Commodore, even I don't know if you remember, but you're maybe not from that time for sure. But I had a Commodore 64. Nobody knows what a Commodore 64 is, or an Amstrad, right? And we had these cassette tapes. And
Jose, I know what a 1541 and a 1542 disk drive are, and not a lot of people know that. And I know what a VIC-20 is too. Hello.
So, at that time,
guys, thank you so much. I suddenly don't feel old anymore. Thank you. I feel young again. Thanks, guys.
I bought the first calculator when it came out. How's that?
I had one too.
I had the original Nintendo Game Boy.
I had the little one without the decimal point.
That's right. Yeah. It used to spell. Remember, you used to spell words in it, like shell and things like that. You could spell words with it. It was awesome.
Yeah. It cost $65 for a calculator that was with no decimal point.
Awesome.
Guys, either we are all old or none of us are old. I'm fine with either one of those.
We're experienced. That's all.
So you would do Space Invaders, right? Something like that.
I remember, Jose, I remember going to Westchester, Pennsylvania. I was in graduate school and actually picking up the computers at the facility in Westchester and taking them up. We were, that was one of my first things in graduate school, is to work on those. So just FYI, I've been around. I remember when there were tape drives with them.
Yeah.
Speaking of age, I'd always rather be Obi-Wan or Yoda than Luke. There we go.
Yeah. So,
I remember playing the snake game on a Nokia phone.
There you go.
There was a game that I loved very much. It was a little bit later, right? It was called
Nokia.
Anybody used Larry as a game?
No.
That was a fantastic game. It looks very similar to what we have today, but not so sophisticated. Anyway, to finish here, sorry. So my generation, okay, had games, right? But it was very late in stage, and they were very basic games initially. And the generation that comes now, they're all in, right? They don't know anything else. They're on the smartphone. I was looking at, my brother-in-law just has a boy. He is like 1.5 years, right? Whenever he sees a smartphone, he's running after the smartphone. There's no way. They are born with this instinct. It's incredible. And I would focus on that. So what I would say to the entrepreneurs is focus on the millennial and the Z generation, because definitely in gaming, there's where the money is.
Absolutely. Very rightly said. Thank you, Jose, for that. Anuj, over to you.
So I think I'm going to carry from what he said. while yeah, the next wave, the next market where the money is gonna be the millennial and the Gen Z. I think a huge market that's still gonna be untapped, or that still has that potential, is the nostalgia market. We all love going back to our childhood. And I love the game I used to play as a kid. It takes you back to a space where you can't imagine. So that's one more arena where I'm seeing some movement, or I'm hoping for some movement. Rather than just focusing on the mainstream industry, there are multiple companies that are capitalizing on that nostalgia market. Uh, a famous example would be WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment. They are still working on a lot of nostalgia. They just ran a show with 30 years of The Undertaker, and it's one character that anyone who has seen that show for the last 30 years can relate to. So that is capitalizing on that nostalgia. So uh, yeah, that's definitely going to be one market as well. There is going to be a resurgence in a lot of old generation gaming, which will now see that revival. Uh, Counter Strike is one great example. I remember we used to play it back in our college days, and it's still one of the most played games around the world. Uh, Only when you improve it, and only when you add new technology onto it to make it more faster, make sure that there is no desync, uh, make sure that now the laws of physics are applicable on gaming as well. You are basically taking it to the next level. Uh, Mobile gaming is, I think it was Gary who said that in lockdown, mobile gaming is seeing a rise. I slightly disagree on that. I think it was even before lockdown that mobile gaming was seeing a rise. Uh, there were numerous reports based off of India of gaming addiction, where kids were getting addicted to games like PUBG Mobile. Uh, I personally know uh, a lot of people who are playing games with their spouses. I have my friends who play games with me with their spouses. So the industry was already on the rise. I think the lockdown just gave it the rocket fuel that it needed, and now the sky is the limit. Let's see where the industry goes. As new technology comes up, as new systems are integrated to advance everything to make these things better, because the hardware is improving. There are there are dedicated neural cores that are given onto a laptop now. There are dedicated cores that are added onto phones just for gaming. So when these hardwares are improving, it's sky's the limit now. Let's see how things go in the future in that sector.
Thank you, Anuj. You just brought back memories about the WWF. When I was like a kid, me and my brother used to watch WWF, and our favorite character was The Undertaker. I just had to say that. Thank you for sharing those. Thank you. John, over to you, please. Advice for startups and founders in the space. So how to be unique if they just have a platform that streams? I mean, besides that, what else can they do to be different? As Joseph said, target the millennials, the Gen Z. What else can you add onto that?
Well, I think I agree with everything they said, and I say, and I went to visit my mom in lockdown here in the U.S. and got her new computer, and the first thing she did is launch her game. She's 72, and she reminded me that 20 years ago, her and my grandmother would always play games together online, right? And I think saying the baby boomers are dead in 10 years might be a bit harsh. I think there's a lot of specialty games that they might be interested in, and it might be around healthcare. So think of gaming again, not just as I kill a bad guy, or I find a treasure, but I could actually do something to help myself. And I keep driving that point home, like Steven Spielberg wrote in the movie, right, over the head. But it's really about it is about, to Gary's point, often hyper personalization, hyper focus. And I often like to go where other people are not, to build a market there, and then let the market evolve around me, versus chasing the same goal everybody else is. And so I just think if you can think about, again, what value are you creating for people? What problem are you solving for them? What opportunity are you creating for them by your product or service? You're going to win every time. And what pain are you solving? People a lot of times don't do things unless you're solving a pain. distraction is a pain right now. That's going to go away. So when the distraction, when we can go back and interact again, do you think people are going to be interacting more or playing games more? And I encourage you to think about adding value beyond the novelty, because novelty wears off. And so just keep thinking about that as my advice.
Great. So adding value. Okay. Good points. Point to be noted, founders who are looking to raise funds. Thank you, John. I come to Gary now. Gary, what's your advice to these, very creative entrepreneurs who have a lot of ideas, but still they've struggled to raise the fund?
I mean, the situation is you've got to use venues like VCTV to get the word out. And, the thing is, it's never easy raising funds. If it was, everybody would do it. So you got to figure out where those family offices are. You got to get visibility, write a lot, do videos, use social media, use again, this is keep it simple. If you can't meet with people in person, use the venues and the medium that you can get the message out, and use your network. So figure out who's just gotten funded in that space and find out who their connections are. This is sales 101. So, and get out there. The more you're out there, more visibility you have, the greater the probability is you're going to be able to get funded.
Great. Thank you, Gary. So we just have 8 more minutes to end the show. So I just want to ask this question in the closing remarks. What advice do you have for those entrepreneurs who are looking to pitch, and why VCTV? If you can, because you've got so much experience coming on VCTV, and for so many weeks or so many days or months for somebody. So why do you think it's very much why do you think it's helpful for startups in the first place? Jose, over to you, please.
So first of all, I think in the past, let me put it like this: everybody can reach out to a VC more or less nowadays, or to a business angel. Because never in history access to anybody, it's made so easy as it is today. Because you go to LinkedIn, you can make a connection. You can come here on VCTV. You can push on that button to, do your pitch, or you can go besides social media. You have PitchBook or any other way that you can get in touch with the investor, what type it is. The problem is that a lot of these founders, they go very bad prepared. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the problems. And the other problem is they go to everybody, right? So I get on a weekly basis, I get requests to invest in real estate. And I'm always telling everybody, look, don't contact me for real estate, because that's not my investment criteria and my focus. So contact me for for software and everything which is digital and online. So, and that's the problem. They need to understand that you need to search for that VC, right? That you fit in his investment criteria. Mm-hmm. It's not because you are having a very, very good project, and which is, everybody believes that you're going to be the next unicorn, right? And that everybody knows that you are in love with what you're doing, which is fantastic. But the problem is, the investor also needs to understand where he is going to invest in. And if he doesn't understand, and his investment criteria, and some of these investors have a mandate. I think a lot of people don't understand that investors also raise funds, right? To be able to invest, right? That's the issue, right? Yeah. Because you have also funds of funds and etc. So, investors also go out for raising funds, but they have this mandate and they need to stick to this mandate. So if the mandate says that you can only invest in the US, okay, then don't contact that investor if you're in Europe, because he's not going to invest in Europe because his mandate is limited to the US. Right? If he invests in healthcare, okay, because that's his focus, why are you going to contact him for a tech product, right, which can be social media and has nothing to do with healthcare? And this is the problem. So I would recommend do your homework, look into what the investment profile is, and definitely your success rate will be much higher if you fit into the investor's investment criteria, because he is open to see things that touches the area that he would like to invest in and he has know-how on. So that's what I would like to say.
Thank you, Jose. Great points. Please refine your investment criteria, as Jose said, and he's not investing in real estate for sure. Thank you. John, over to you. Why, if a founder comes to you saying, okay, why VCTV, what's your answer going to be?
It keeps me sharp. It connects me with great people. And, why VCTV? I just say I've gotten a lot of value out of it. It's back to my point, right? It's created value because it forces me to think about things in a certain way, and it forces me to keep my game up. No pun intended.
Perfect, to the point. Thank you. Anuj, over to you. Why VCTV?
Like Jose said, we are in a time where access to investors has never been easy. Gone are the days when you'd have to follow them outside their office, when you have to rush after them in a lift and try to make that elevator pitch. You can just reach out to any one of them over a video call now, or just over a tweet, and then you can find the right set of investors for you. So yeah, in closing remarks, I'd just say that entertainment industry is still as much of an art as it is about technology. While we are still working on making things better, the core features, be it in gaming or entertainment, remains about keeping the user entertained, about keeping the user at the edge of their seat the entire duration of the time. So just keep that in mind. As long as you keep user at the center, as long as you make sure that you have them on the edge of their seat, you can create a good product. Just pouring in money will not help. Quibi is an example. $1 billion is not enough if you don't have the content right. So just keep that right. I'm sure investors will come in once they see that the product is going well, once they see that the content is going well. And that's how you take things forward. Of course, if anyone wants to reach out to me, they can drop me a message on VCTV. Always here to reach out to others. Or you can just reach out to me on Twitter.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gary, over to you.
I'm hearing you twice, Sonny.
Yes, same
Sounds
here.
like I caved there for a second. So anyhow, now these, as I said, these are great times. And if you're into artificial intelligence specifically, we're interested in talking to you. Now's the time to go global. A lot of people don't talk about it, but it's not only having regional dominance in a particular area, whether it's Africa, Asia, Europe, the US, but it's about going global and creating that $1 billion company. So sometimes we forget about it. One of the things that's happened in this pandemic is give us another hurdle. And, that's really why we created GSD 2 years ago, was to be able to go out and to be able to go over that hurdle. VCTV gives you a great platform to get the word out, and it's really hard today. I mean, think about it. If I'm in Singapore, how do I talk to somebody in Silicon Valley? It's impossible. It's real or difficult. Not impossible, but very difficult. Or Europe. And how can I do it very, very quickly? And more importantly, how can I develop the trust? And so, the VCTV, it's good to see Anuj and Jose and you and Carol and John and everybody that's here, because we each have different ideas, and we also want to connect and stay current. So this is a great place to do it. So keep it up.
Thank you. Thank you, Gary, so much for your Anuj, maybe you can put yourself on a bit of mute, maybe. Sorry about that. Thank you so much. Conscious of the time, perfectly finishing on time, and really thoroughly enjoyed my Monday. That's what made my day today. The start of the week. I mean, people probably don't like Mondays. I love Mondays every day because I have VCTV, and I get the chance to meet people. Jose, Gary, almost every day. Anuj, and John. So thank you so much. Again, founders and entrepreneurs, as you rightly heard today from all these great minds, this is the right platform for you to come and showcase your talent, your potential, your startup, talk about it, talk to them, meet them, be bold and be brave. Come on VCTV and pitch your ideas. You never know what's going to happen after that. You might not get funded, but you might make some great connections, and you never know what's going to come out of those great connections. So hence, always keep your options open. Thank you so much. And investors and speakers who like to also come and speak and share about their insights in what space they're investing or looking to explore, you can always do that and network with other like-minded investors like them. So fantastic. Thank you so much and have a great day. Stay safe, stay connected, and I see you on another day. Take care. Bye.
Bye.